Today, we're going to be traveling back to 1816, famously dubbed the year without a summer. Picture this: snow in June, frost in July, and a sun obscured by a mysterious haze. Across the globe, crops failed, food shortages ran rampant, and communities spiraled into famine and unrest. What cosmic event could have cooled our summer so drastically? Join us as we unravel the catastrophic effects of a massive volcanic eruption that happened thousands of miles away, its ash veiling the sky and altering weather patterns worldwide. This wasn't just a cold snap. This was a bizarre, once-in-a-millennium phenomenon that altered climates, reshaped economies, and inspired revolutions in art and science, including inspiring the dark, stormy setting of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. This is the Dark History Project. Before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you. In the early months of 1815, unaware that the very fabric of its natural order was about to be violently disrupted, societies were largely agrarian, with farming dictating the rhythms of life and the stability of nations. The climate, reliably seasonal, had blessed recent harvests across Europe and America, fostering a fragile optimism after years of warfare and political upheaval. Yet, nature harbored a catastrophic secret on the picturesque island of Sumbawa in the Indonesian archipelago. Here, Mount Tambora, a colossal volcano that had slumbered quietly for centuries, was about to be awakened. In April of 1815, this tectonic titan awoke with a fury that shook the earth to its core. The eruption was apocalyptic, ranking among the most colossal volcanic events in recorded history. It ejected vast plumes of ash and gas high into the atmosphere, far above the altitudes where weather patterns form and clouds drift. The scale was staggering. Tambora's eruption column reached over 40 kilometers into the sky, a towering pillar of ash and fire visible for hundreds of miles. The explosion was so mighty, it was heard as far away as Sumatra, over 1,200 miles away. This immense force expelled around 100 cubic kilometers of debris, darkening the skies with ash that would soon encircle the globe. The immediate aftermath on Sumbawa and surrounding areas was nothing short of apocalyptic. Villages were obliterated, entombed beneath layers of pumice and ash. Crops and forests stood no chance against this relentless gray fallout. The sun was blocked out for days. Estimates suggest that around 10,000 inhabitants perished directly from the eruption's effect, buried beneath the pyroclastic flows or rooftops, collapsing under the weight of the ash. But the death toll would climb much higher, reaching upwards of 70,000 due to the ensuing famine and disease as the land became barren, the air poisoned with sulfurous fumes. As 1815 turned to 1816, the people of Sumbawa and beyond grappled with their altered landscape, now desolate and inhospitable. Little did they, or the world for that matter, know that the true consequences of Tambora's awakening were yet to unfold. The enormous quantities of ash and sulfur dioxide injected into the atmosphere began their invisible, sinister chaos across the hemispheres, setting the stage for a year that would be known as the year without a summer. This extraordinary phenomenon unleashed a colossal amount of volcanic ash and sulfur aerosols into the atmosphere. These fine particles, suspended high in the stratosphere, acted as a global sunshade, blocking and reflecting sunlight back into space, thereby drastically reducing the amount of solar energy that reached the Earth's surface. This infusion of aerosols was the catalyst for what scientists refer to as volcanic winter. The sulfur dioxide released into the atmosphere formed sulfuric acid aerosols, which are particularly effective at scattering solar radiation. As a result, global temperatures plummeted, and 1816 saw significant climactic disruptions across various continents. In North America, the impact was bewildering and severe. Farmers in New England spoke of a lost summer, where frost and snow occurred in June, and July temperatures plunged enough to freeze lakes traditionally teeming with summer activity. Crops failed, and famine was widespread, sending local economies into disarray. Europe, well, it fared no better. Persistent cold rains in the UK during the summer months led to poor harvests, exacerbating the suffering caused by the recent Napoleonic Wars. In Ireland, the unreasonable chill resulted in the infamous poverty year, marked by famine and disease. Asia witnessed anomalies of its own. In China, the usual monsoon season was disrupted, causing devastating floods that destroyed rice paddies and led to widespread famine. It even caused the spread of cholera across Asia all the way to Europe. This cascade of climactic chaos across the globe served as a grim reminder of how deeply and unpredictably Earth's natural systems are intertwined, showcasing the profound impact volcanic activity can have on global climates and human civilization. The repercussions of 1816's chilling climate extended far beyond the loss of summer warmth, precipitating widespread societal upheaval. As the darkened skies and unseasonal cold wreaked havoc on crop yields, the ripple effects cascaded through societies worldwide, culminating in a year marked by hunger, unrest, and suffering. In both rural and urban centers, the failure of staple crops like wheat and potatoes led to dire food shortages and rampant price inflation. As the cost of basic substance soared, desperation took hold among the populace. In England and France, this desperation spilled over into the streets, manifesting as food riots and intense protests. The people, starved and destitute, lashed out in response to their government's inability to mitigate the crisis, highlighting the stark contrast between the struggling masses and the relative stability of the ruling classes. The health implications of this year without a summer were severe. Malnutrition weakened the population, leaving them more susceptible to diseases. Regions across the world reported increases in illness and mortality, not only from famine, but also from the cold that persisted through what should have been the warm summer months. The collective impact of these conditions was catastrophic, leading to increased mortality rates globally. The year 1816 served as a stark reminder of humanity's vulnerability to the whims of nature, painting a somber portrait of the thin line between societal stability and chaos when basic human needs are unmet. The harrowing time underscores the intricate connections between climate, agriculture, economy, and health. Connections that continue to resonate deeply even into the present day. Amid this climate-induced gloom, a young Mary Shelley found herself confined indoors during a summer stay by Lake Geneva. With the bleak weather thwarting outdoor adventures, a challenge was posed among her literary companions to craft the most terrifying ghost story. The unseasonable chill and persistent darkness fueled Shelley's imagination, leading to the creation of Frankenstein. This seminal work, a cornerstone of Gothic literature, was born from the ashes of a volcanic winter, reflecting themes of disruption, creation, and the consequences of tampering with nature's order. The pervasive gloom of 1816 also profoundly influenced the broader Romantic movement. Poets and artists, already attuned to the sublime and the tempestuous aspects of nature, found in the year's dismal weather a powerful muse. The apocalyptic climate served as a backdrop for works that emphasized the awe and terror of the natural world, shaping a legacy in art that mirrored the tumultuous skies under which they were conceived. This year of darkness inadvertently nurtured a rich vein of creativity, leaving a lasting imprint on the era's cultural landscape. The extraordinary climactic disruptions of 1816 catalyzed significant scientific advancements, fundamentally altering our understanding of the natural world. As crops failed and winters stretched into summers, scientists of the era were driven to decipher the links between volcanic activity and climate changes. This period marked a pivotal moment in the development of meteorology, as scholars and meteorologists began systemic observations of weather patterns, leading to the creation of more accurate forecasting methods. The global impact of Mount Tambora's eruption underscored the interconnectedness of Earth's natural systems, highlighting the urgent need for a broader, more integrated approach to studying the planet. Reflecting on 1816, we see more than just a historical anomaly. It serves as a stark reminder of our vulnerability to Mother Nature's dynamic forces. The year without a summer exposed the fragility of human societies to environmental changes and emphasized the importance of scientific inquiry as a tool of survival. It reminds us that the forces shaping our climate are powerful and at times unpredictable, reinforcing the need for ongoing vigilance and innovation in environmental and climate sciences to better prepare for future challenges. Thank you for being with us for this episode of the Dark History Project. Please help us out by liking this video and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. We're available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else you can listen to podcasts. We hope you enjoyed it, and our next episode will come out soon. See you then.